God, you are such an emotional dude. I was like, Man Bat's cool on my list.
Yeah, I was going by names, dude. If I didn't know him, like if that name
Tristan's
didn't
like,
sound cool,
Catwoman was on the mean streets and she had a really hard life, so I put her on the list.
I mean,
So I'm
because she
like,
we do
deserves to
have
be on a list.
we already have 12 people to cut down the seven though, so that's the
yeah, so we
challenge.
got a good 12. So hey, hello everybody, and welcome to the Alternate Top 7. This is Top 7 Batman villains of all time. Kind of tying this in with Gotham coming on soon, right? Or just came on this week.
Yeah, it just came out this
Just
week.
debuted
Yeah.
So
season two
it's all
premiere.
about villains. So we're like, well, let's tie this back to the top 7 Batman villains of all time and see what happens. We've narrowed our list from about 50 down to like 20,
There's a lot of Batman villains
and
out there.
now we're down to like the final 12. And we had to make some hard cuts. Man Bat, Catwoman, Solomon Grundy, Chad's favorite because of the dirty Grundy undies, I think is what it is.
Can we be
And-
honest here for the list, dude? Joker's got to be number
Yeah.
one, right? Like, I mean, like, or do we have to whittle it
This is
down?
the old thing. Like sometimes the most obvious choice is the best choice, right?
He
And it's-
killed
there's
Batman's parents.
There's no question.
don't
Well,
know.
not that's not a proven fact.
It's proven on the mean
It's-
streets of Gotham.
Chad says it. I believe it.
Yeah, it's proven on the mean streets of Gotham.
I mean,
yeah.
we should just right now just put a couple people in the list and then debate about the rest of the 7 because I think the Joker should be a lock. I think the Bane should be a lock based on some of
Ooh,
the
I
hard
actually
stuff
cut Bane, even though I love Bane.
Tristan has been talking about.
Dude, Bane got off my list for fucking
Bane is
Dark
a-
Knight Rises, dude.
Bane's on my cut list right now, even
Okay,
though
so
he
Bane's
did-
off. What about the Joker? The Joker and the Penguin, I think, are two clear. Like, why would they not be in the top 7? Like
Yeah.
the Joker, there's like
Yeah.
no question.
Yeah.
They're both in there for me. I cut Bane, even though he broke Batman's back in the comics, and you saw in Dark Knight Rises.
Like,
and he's one of the most powerful Batman villains. But I feel like he doesn't have any true ambitions. He's just a guy on a Venom kick and a Venom high, and
He's just a cool dude that breaks people's backs,
And wants
Bane-
to kill
and he-
Batman.
And he defeated
blew
Batman
up a football
once.
stadium.
I say, dude, Bane
Bane's it.
sticks around.
Bane's
Bane sticks
automatically in.
around.
He's
He
like one
broke
of the
a
most
back.
iconic. I'm going iconic villains. Like I'm going villains that I can show a picture of to someone on the street, and they're like, I know who that guy is. And I feel like Bane is one of those guys. Joker's one of those guys.
Well, I
Penguin.
feel like
Penguin,
most-
the Riddler, Mr. Freeze. I don't know who Hush is, and I don't even know if Hush is something you were just trying to tell me to do, or if it's a person, or what it is. But I don't even
Hush.
know how it's on our final 12.
Now, when I was talking how these villains relate to Batman on a personal level, Hush is one of those guys. Hush, real name Dr. Tommy Elliot, who Bruce grew up with as a child, and they weren't the greatest of friends. And Tommy Elliot kind of has a vendetta against Bruce Wayne and pretty much his entire family. They're childhood friends, but they're kind of opposites of each other as far as we know who Bruce grew up into, but Tommy Elliot kind of went the more psychopathic way.
What's his thing? What does he do?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he
I'm already
ended up-
bored.
He ended up being a surgeon. Some really
He's a
cool.
surgeon?
He's a surgeon.
Oh, let's get the guy
And-
that runs the 7-Eleven in Gotham on the list,
Well,
too.
let's talk about some things he's done.
Yeah.
He orchestrated this huge plot to throw Batman off.
Orchestrated.
Uh,
Did he succeed?
Well, let me continue. First, he
We're
did
such
some
dicks to you.
he did some surgery on Two-Face. He cured Two-Face's scars, and after doing that, Harvey Dent became good again because the scars pretty much make Two-Face. If he doesn't have the scars, there's nothing that sets him off on a psychopathic rage or anything. So Two-Face actually went straight for a while. Harvey Dent turned
Loses
Harvey Dent
points
again.
for me because Two-Face is cool. Harvey Dent is lame.
He cut Catwoman's heart out. He literally cut Catwoman's heart out.
Did she die?
Just no, because he kept the heart still beating. He used Mr. Freeze's technology and kept it going, and Batman later got it back in there. But
Does
just
Hush
mess
lose
with-
points because he needed the Riddler's help to be successful?
well, he orchestrated this conglomerate of villains.
Him
He
and
used-
Riddler did. Let's be
He
honest.
used Riddler.
here.
He used Clayface. He used all kinds of different villains. He made Bruce Wayne, Batman, think that Jason Todd was back from the dead, and by making Clayface form into Jason Todd, who Joker killed all these years ago, it turns out Jason Todd was actually in cahoots with Hush this whole time, and he was just testing Bruce Wayne to see how he reacted towards his
I
revival.
don't know, Tristan. He gets bonus
He's
points for
he's a
looking
good
like
villain,
he looks like
but
Darkman, so I'll give him
you
that.
you played Arkham Knight, right? Did you not play the little storyline where Tommy Elliott popped up,
No, I
where he
didn't.
disguised himself as Bruce Wayne and he was in Wayne offices?
No, I did all of the main stories, and that was pretty much
That was a
it.
pretty
So
cool.
anything side, I didn't do.
I feel like you just told me exactly about Ra's al Ghul too, like how he manipulates people and gets them to go after. I feel like these guys you want on here are just manipulators, dude. They
How
don't
high
really do
was Hush
anything.
on your list, Tristan? Because
Yeah,
there's
8.
He
is he
relates
number
to.
one, number two?
Yeah,
Like,
where
how
is he
high
at?
Where
would
is
you
he?
put
What
him?
number? I had him at number 6 because I knew you guys would baffle over anything. But I have him number 6.
You're like, if it's not brightly colored, these guys won't get it.
So, well, I guess my thing is like he's a good manipulator, but in the eyes of everyone else, who's fighting Batman? It's using Scarecrow or using like he's
No,
manipulating all these people to fight Batman. So
He was
technically,
fighting
he's just
Batman himself.
he's just in the
All right, dude, we got so many people. Hush, we get it. I get it. I don't know where he's gonna land. Let's leave him for
Yeah.
a second. We're talking too much about Hush. Like,
Well, we gotta figure out if
Hush.
he's good or not.
Mr. Freeze. Okay, if anybody's just joining us and they've never been to the site and this is all they're seeing, Tristan is our expert comic book guy, and he has a show every week. He posts every Friday. It's called Adapted, where we talk about comic books, things adapted from comic books. He has a post every Tuesday where he tells you what comic books to buy. So if Chad and I are being harsh on him, it's because Tristan is very special and this stuff, and we are not.
And I based my entire
all the
list.
time.
I based my entire list off these characters in their comics, with a little bit sprinkled in of video games and live action stuff.
And Chad, at least I know I sprinkled mine off of like pop culture, whatever I've seen, like television shows and movies. And if there was a music video starring the Penguin, dude, he would have been on the list. Bonus points probably. Like I don't know anything about Batman comics. I like comics, but outside
Yeah, dude,
of
my stretch.
one-
And when I mentioned Ra's al Ghul, you guys are all freaking out because you've seen Ra's al Ghul live action form. But Ra's al Ghul is like a top 10 comic book villain of anything, not just Batman villains. Like,
let's talk about him because I think Ra's al Ghul belongs in the bottom 50 of Batman villains because those movies were so terrible.
Yeah, the movie
I just
and
talked
the
to
TV
someone
show.
today, and I asked them, "Do you remember Ra's?" Like, let's talk about Ra's al Ghul from Batman, from the Batman movies, and they didn't even remember him.
who didn't?
Person I was talking to, random person. As a
How
fact,
did they not remember? Ra's al Ghul was the whole premise
I
of
was
the
trying to
Christopher Nolan
explain
Batman
that
movies.
Liam Neeson, and it was just like, oh, that guy, because you know who was it was like Scarecrow, you know, like Scarecrow was like
He was in Batman.
big,
The whole character like was this whole
but he was so
story
boring and
for the
not he
entire
wasn't
trilogy.
memorable. That's what I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get. Like, I remember Scarecrow from
Did they
that
not
movie.
pay attention to the plot of Dark Knight Rises?
Actually, I don't. I like you.
It was all Ra's al Ghul. It was all
Yeah,
centered on
but it
Ra's al
doesn't
Ghul.
matter because like the main character that you focus on are the super small characters that are exciting and memorable is what you gravitate towards. I just thought it was like Liam Neeson wearing a stupid costume and a dumb mustache. I'm not letting Ra's al Ghul on this list, dude. If we have to sit here all
Let's
night.
talk about Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul is over 600 years old. He's that old because he's revived himself throughout time in
Lord.
the last bit. He's fought in
So that
different
means he's
wars.
died that many
He's
times.
learned different cultures. He's been around the world. He created a crime organization 500 years ago, pretty much before organized crime existed. He created it 500 years ago.
Eh.
You know the League of Assassins, but League of Assassins is like a subsidiary of his entire.
You know what I say, Tristan? What has he done for me lately?
What
Except
has he
make two
done?
boring ass
He
movies.
destroyed the entire Justice League.
He almost destroyed the Christopher Nolan movies.
Wow. What character can you say has ever taken out the entire Justice League?
I couldn't say any because I wouldn't even remember. If I read that comic, I would have forgotten it the next day.
Tower
Hasn't
of Babel.
Batman taken out the Justice League?
All right, Ra's al Ghul can stay on this list because Tristan's gonna be a punk about him. Killer Croc, dude. Who likes Killer Croc?
I like Killer Croc from the video
Killer
game.
Croc.
I like
He
him
had,
from
like,
video games. It's great.
Character.
One of the best
He's a-
battles ever.
He's one of the cooler looking Batman villain characters, but
We need a cool character on here, like to make our list look like a
But-
cool.
he was on my cut list mostly just because he suffers from a disease that makes him look like that, and he's dumb as rocks. So
Who the fuck was on your
Whoa,
list?
man,
Who's on
we
your
can't-
list, actually?
We can't be cutting down people because they got a disease.
no, that's
true.
not why. I'm saying I'm
Jeez.
cutting him because he's dumb as rocks, and why he always fails as a villain because he's really stupid.
Well, dude, let's be honest here. Ra's al Ghul's have been failing for 600 years now.
Has he?
Otherwise, he would
I
be
believe
like,
he has.
is he the world ruler?
How's his headquarters doing in Batman, the first Batman movie? I believe that was blown up.
Right. Let's talk
Down a
comics
hill,
where he still
toast.
exists. And if he dies, he can be resurrected.
Does he
And
still exist? Can you like I don't know, man. I can't see them making Ra's al Ghul comics. No one would buy them.
No.
well, he
The Archie
exists.
comics would sell more.
He exists in the Batman comics, and Batman comics is one of the biggest selling comics of anything out
Batman
there.
comics are making new villains because the old villains sucked.
Well,
I
because they
learned
have
that on comic book
75
Tuesday.
years of Batman comics. That's why they're creating new villains.
All right, so okay, Tristan, who's in
Who's
your
on my
list? You're driving me
Okay.
nuts.
I've got Joker. I've got Ra's al Ghul. I've got Poison Ivy. I've got Penguin, Two-Face, Hush, and Riddler.
I'm okay with Poison Ivy and the Riddler. I think both of those are pretty iconic, and I've liked Poison Ivy in a lot of stuff.
Well, we're not
And-
doing top 7 iconic characters. We're doing top 7
I
villains.
told you this is my emotions.
I
You
know.
think the
I told
comic
you.
books? You think just simmer down. Let me run this show, or I'll make this my list. So I'm okay with Poison Ivy and the Riddler making a list. What
I've
do
got
you
Poison Ivy high on my list, too. I've got her at number 3. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
What
I
makes
like
her
Poison
so
Ivy.
villainous, dude?
She's good with plants.
Wait, why? Yeah,
Tristan
why is
loves
she
botany,
so
though.
high?
That's like his thing.
She can use those pheromones and make anyone do whatever she wants. She's the most dangerous villain on this list.
She's more dangerous than Hush, who manipulates
Yes,
everybody.
she'll-
More dangerous than someone who
she'll
can take out the entire Justice League.
She'll shoot her pheromones off and she controls whoever is in her path.
All right, dude. I'm putting her in the top 7. I'm all right with that. Chad, you okay with that?
No, dude, I don't. I think she's a
She's-
joke, dude. She's
she's
a
in, dude.
gimmick, dude. She's a gimmick. To
What,
get
you don't like
people-
Mother Nature?
It's her and Harley Quinn
ever
are
get
like the
something against
exact
Plan?
same, dude. They're
Well,
exact
Harley
same
Quinn.
to
Let's
me.
talk Harley Quinn and knock her off the list because I don't think she
Well,
belongs in the top
Harley
7.
Quinn. I don't think she was even in our discussion, but we can talk
She's
about
in, dude. She's
Okay.
number 12.
And if anything, she's a pet of the Joker. She was created from Joker's madness, and she's never like out to get Batman. She does whatever the Joker tells her to do, and he even tries to kill her multiple times. So
She's cool though. People love her. Like we could put her on the list and people would.
In
be
my
like,
mind, she's not a true villain though. She's not a true villain. She's crazy.
All right, we have 2 spots left. Mr. Freeze, Two-Face. Anyone on board? Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's over Mr. Freeze all the way.
Mr. Freeze in the video games was awesome, and I also thought he was awesome in as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But here's a guy, Mr. Freeze, where his only motive is curing his wife, who he keeps on ice.
Yeah,
That's
you love a good
really
love
nuts.
story, Tristan.
But he can freeze anybody he comes into contact with.
With his
Have you seen
ice
his
gun.
guns. His guns are great.
How much have you guys trashed Captain Cold and his freeze gun?
Captain Cold is like a generic Mr. Freeze.
I'm
thus
saying
it's
if you dudes,
trashed.
I'm saying if you dudes are putting on Poison Ivy because she can poison anybody, we can put Mr. Freeze because he can freeze anybody.
I'm putting Poison Ivy on because she can make
Well,
big
it's not
trees.
poisoning them. It's making them do whatever she wants. She can do the same thing to Mr. Freeze.
If she can kiss him, but Mr. Freeze will freeze her.
Let me spoil something for you guys on how lame Mr. Freeze is. Eventually, he finds a way of getting Nora coming back to life, and she leaves him because she sees him as a pitiful person.
That's the saddest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah,
He's number one.
Gets a
That's
sympathy
terrible.
vote.
That's terrible.
Poison
Well,
Ivy is not
Freeze.
on the list, dude. She,
I'm okay with Poison
she
Ivy.
hasn't
It's
done
too-
anything remarkable to
Dude,
Batman.
Uma Thurman was Poison Ivy, right? That was great. In the movie. That was awesome. This Poison Ivy in the video games has been really good every single time. Like, even in Arkham Knight, I thought Ivy was okay.
She's
Yeah,
a cool
but she's
character.
always like a side character. The only cool thing she did in that video game was have that giant, like, freaking creature attack you and, like, fight you. But that really wasn't her. She hasn't done anything
Who do you
like...
think deserves to be on instead of her out of these 5 or 6 we have sitting here? Ra's al Ghul? Scarecrow is out, dude. He
I would
ruins
take
everything.
Mr. Freeze or Killer Croc over
Nice.
Poison Ivy.
I stand by my statement that Poison Ivy is the most dangerous Batman villain there
Only
is.
if she can kiss you. If she can't kiss
No,
you, she's
it's not even
useless.
kissing.
Would you
has
kiss Poison
pheromones.
Ivy?
No, I wouldn't kiss her, dude. She's
That's
a
because
redhead.
Amy in the room?
She's a redhead.
Is that on the record?
Is she a true redhead, though? I feel like she didn't look like a redhead in the last game.
She's rid of
How is she the most dangerous, dude? If she doesn't kiss you, what can she do?
She can grow a tree underneath your feet, take you 1,000,000 feet in the air, and you'll burn in the atmosphere.
If I'm in a
She
warehouse,
has a
she's
connection
useless.
to.
If you're in a warehouse, she'll make a tree go around the warehouse and crush it,
Oh,
and put you in the middle.
God.
She'll open the earth, and you'll fall to the core, and you'll die.
Fucking can't
Poison Ivy
stand
for
her,
number
dude.
1. So Two-Face, we want Two-Face on the list,
Two-Face
anybody?
was on my list. He's,
Chad? You've been quiet, Chad. Shh, hush, Tristan.
Yeah, no, I haven't been quiet. I want Poison Ivy off the list. As soon as Poison Ivy's off,
dude, you've been like Captain, get him off the list. But who do you want on the list?
you already got the people I care about or know. I don't really know too much about Two-Face or Hush, so I mean they can just like Two-Face. All I know is he's got a coin. He shoots you if it goes wrong.
Man-Bat?
Can we bring Man-Bat back?
Nah,
He's already in the cut.
we can put,
It's cut by you.
I say we toss Killer Croc and Ra's al Ghul in there.
I'm okay with Ra's al Ghul because of Tristan's passion. Tristan's passion wins me over a lot. So if anyone's ever like, you guys come to the site and you see these lists and you're like, man, how the fuck did that make it? It's because this guy right here was just like pouring his fucking heart out.
I'm telling you, don't be poisoned by the
you guys got to see it tonight.
Performances of Ra's al Ghul.
The only way Ra's al Ghul gets on this list is if he's higher than Poison Ivy. If Poison Ivy has to be on this list.
I want
Ra's al Ghul too, so.
I want Killer Croc, man. I just love him from those games.
Killer Croc can eat the plants that she tries to create. Like plants aren't a weapon. Ugh.
The thing is, Tristan really wanted Hush.
Let's talk Riddler, the smartest Batman villain there is. You've got Riddler the smartest, you've got Croc the dumbest.
Yeah. You need balance, yin and yang, dude. You need a villain that's just dumb. It does dumb things and give Batman an opening to do something cool, to like fly or ride him like a surfboard in a sewer. I don't know, but you need a dumb villain.
Let's be honest, Bane's not very smart.
Yes, that's why I cut him. Even though he did break Batman's back, something Killer Croc never did.
You only like smart villains, huh?
So who do you want on the list? Who do you guys want? You want Hush, Two-Face, or Killer Croc? Mr. Freeze is never going to make it, right?
No.
Penguin's in there.
Yeah, we need our 7. We need our last one is Croc, Two-Face, or Hush. This is the hardest decision we'll ever have to.
Hush.
Why don't we get rid of Poison Ivy and bring in Two-Face and Hush?
Oh, one for two.
We got Bane in there. Okay, that was throwing me off.
I like Bane though, and I agree with Poison Ivy. I really like Poison Ivy in some of the stuff. I trashed her, I think, on the website though, on one of the podcasts on the Block Party every Thursday on outonapp.com.
So
Hush, you're very passionate about, Chad. You know what, Chad?
I got my list already, dude. You guys already got
Tristan,
it. So
who do you want? Two-Face is pretty good. I hate him in Gotham.
I would say Two-Face is a better Batman villain.
Over Hush also?
Yeah.
All right, that's simple, dude. Let's end that. Boom. All right, now
Hush is number 8.
All right, so we have our 7: Joker, Penguin, Bane, Ivy, Riddler, Two-Face, Ra's al Ghul. Do we start at the top like we usually do? The Joker number 1. I'm like, it's the most obvious thing. It has to be number 1.
Yes.
And I think Penguin's number 2, dude. I love Penguin.
Penguin's one of my favorites. I would almost put him higher than Joker, but Joker's more badass, so I can't. But just the image of Joker.
I want you guys to tell me why you.
I'm putting that in the storage because he's eating the fish.
Eating the fish and biting a guy's nose off, dude.
Yeah.
It's funny, I did a write-up on each of these characters, and I started with saying, forget the Batman Returns Penguin, where they went very literal with that character.
It was so good.
Penguin was still number 4 for me.
We love the literal stuff.
And the reason why I like him so much is because he's not certifiably crazy like every single other Batman villain. Like, he's a sane person. He's just a criminal mastermind. And he's got those awesome umbrellas that shoot bullets and all kinds of crazy stuff.
The umbrellas.
Weaponized umbrellas is one of the coolest things.
I actually used to like him in the show when I was a kid. And I had to watch that corny ass show. I thought he was pretty cool in there. I think stuff like that. I thought he was okay.
You'll never catch me.
I'm starting to realize about our list here. I might be okay with Poison Ivy being on it the longer I look at it.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude? People had to sit through that shit, dude. It's like 3 minutes of their lives.
But look at our list right now. She's the only one with a superpower, and you guys know I love superpowers.
I do love superpowers.
I don't know why nobody said that in the beginning to save all these people time. Listen to me, bitch.
Ra's al Ghul technically has superpowers since the Lazarus Pit gives him
Fuck the Lazarus Pit.
Oh my god, dude.
Fuck the Lazarus Pit.
Get off of Ra's al Ghul.
Arrow can use the fucking Lazarus Pit.
Okay, so number 1, Joker. Number 2, I think the Penguin.
I'm Penguin.
My number 2 is Ra's al Ghul. I had Poison Ivy higher than Penguin for me.
Dude, I'm not going higher than 9 for Ra's al Ghul.
Ouch.
Where would you put Ra's al Ghul, Chad? You said higher than Poison
6.
Ivy. Tristan wants
6 Ra's al Ghul, 7 Poison Ivy.
Okay, Ra's
I
al
think
Ghul.
Riddler should be number 7.
Actually, you know what, dude?
I'm okay with that, actually.
Yeah, dude, get fucking Riddler down there. Like the guy, but I only like him because of the spandex question mark suits, really.
Those riddles get a little annoying after a while, let me tell you.
Only from the games.
Well,
Yeah.
read a comic that the Riddler's in. It's annoying to read.
I hate dumb jokes, and that's
Talking
all the Riddler
riddles.
does. So fuck
Wait,
him.
so how is he on our top 7 then? You guys are shitting on him.
I
He's
told you
great.
he's the
I love
smartest Batman villain.
I love him. Yeah, I can shit on things I love. I'm okay with that.
Jeez.
Okay, so number 7 is the Riddler. Number 6, Two-Face, Poison Ivy, Bane.
Fuck.
Maybe Bane at 6.
I put Bane at 6.
This list
I mean,
is
none of
starting
us
to
are
suck, dude.
None of us are super high on this. This is fucking great, dude.
Bane wasn't even on my 7, so that's why I would put Bane lower. But Bane, I did mention Bane did break Batman's back. That's
I kind of
why-
like the list where we have it right now. I don't like Ra's al Ghul over Poison Ivy, but
We can.
Dude, Bane is
I'm
higher
fine
than
with Poison
Two-Face.
Ivy. I'd be okay with Poison Ivy ahead of Ra's al Ghul.
I'm okay with Bane ahead of Two-Face.
You can toss Two-Face at 7, dude. I think Two-Face is nowhere near as smart as the Riddler. Hasn't done
Two-Face
as much
Riddler?
to Batman as the Riddler has.
But he's got a very, very personal connection to Batman and Bruce Wayne.
So do-
Harvey Dent was best friends with Bruce Wayne before he had the accident.
Tommy Lee Jones, let's not forget, was pretty awesome as Two-Face.
The coin flip gets a little annoying, but the fact that he is a legit criminal mastermind, Two-Face.
I've been hearing that all night tonight, dude.
Well, there's some
One thing, DC
legit
Comics,
masterminds
I don't
in
know
there.
if I love them that much.
No,
They're-
dude,
It's
you
too
know, I'm
realistic
just-
for my taste.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. It's like all realistic enemies. Like, nobody's got superpowers except for Poison Ivy. She's almost going to be number 1.
No
on
wonder
my fucking
Batman's
list.
always winning, dude.
No shit, dude.
Well,
you only
Batman
got
doesn't
all
have
these
powers
tricks
either.
and shit. Well, but he's got all these fucking things he can do, lock them up and
Gimmicks.
shoot them with things, yeah, hooks and shit. Ra's al
Exactly.
Ghul 3. Okay, so Ra's al Ghul. Chad hates Poison
I'd be
Ivy.
okay with
Tristan
Poison
loves.
Ivy
This is
over,
becoming Tristan's list. I feel like he's.
No, I'd be okay
He's
with
manipulating you,
manipulating
dude.
us.
higher than Ra's al Ghul.
He's pulling a
Oh.
Ra's al Ghul on you.
I just got Ra's al Ghul.
You just got Ra's.
Son of a bitch.
He's the master.
Dude. Fuck.
The demon's
Honestly, really, for me, as long as like the Joker and Penguin are 1 and 2, the rest of the list, I'm okay with all of these people. I feel in my heart that the Riddler is probably 7 and Two-Face is near the bottom. Those 3, 4, and 5, they're kind of interchangeable for me. I prefer Poison Ivy over Ra's al Ghul and Bane, and I prefer Bane over Ra's al Ghul. But I'm not going to be upset because I feel like they're all kind of like great, but not the best. And that's where they sit in the list.
There's some safe spots for him.
Just resonating in my mind is the shitty Ra's al Ghul we dealt with for the last 5 years. Like, if you don't read a
Read some
comic,
comics, man.
dude.
Why wouldn't you read the comics if you're like, oh, I'm curious about this?
Because you're not
character?
telling us to read the Ra's al Ghul comics.
Yeah.
Tell me to read Captain Marvel.
I shared a link of the Tower of Babel
Now
collection.
you
where-
did.
Too
Now
late,
you
dude.
did.
It's too late. You
But
should
if
have
he
done
was
it
so
in the
good, it should have been years in the making.
Well,
There should be a Ra's al Ghul feature on the site.
I didn't know you guys didn't read any comics, man.
I didn't know you fucking loved them so much. You guys shit on them every week on Adapted
Yeah.
on Arrow.
Well, yeah, because Arrow's a horrible show.
That is true. Yeah.
I'm,
it is
I would
bad.
say Ra's al Ghul 5, Poison Ivy 3, Bane 4.
No.
I'm not that.
What do
high.
you want, Chad?
You two have to make that call.
Dude, I don't even want Poison Ivy on this thing.
It's
But
too
she's
late.
got super
Poison
abilities.
Ivy's in.
We're gonna give it to her. Can we get rid of Two-Face?
Wait, I thought you just came around and said you
No,
do want Poison Ivy on the list. 'cause
I'm
she's
okay with
powers.
Poison Ivy. I'm just fucking with you guys. But can we get rid of Two-Face?
For Solomon Grundy?
For Mr. Freeze.
I think Harvey Dent's a pretty, or Two-Face is a pretty
I'm
important.
not going to trade Two-Face for Mr. Freeze. What else you throwing in?
That's it, dude. That was my final plea.
I would have done it for Killer Croc.
That's my final plea. I'm happy with where we're at, like on this bad boy, dude. I don't want Roz going any higher. I definitely want Poison Ivy lower, but there's the
We
three
can
people.
switch Poison Ivy and Bane. I think Poison Ivy at 5 might be okay. Tristan?
I would keep Poison Ivy at 4.
Yeah, but it's not your fucking call. It's a group call.
Well, you just asked
Bane
me.
fucking
I'm sorry.
broke Batman's back, dude. You gotta be
Yeah.
higher than a 5 if you break the
You know what?
fucking
You were
dude's
really
back.
passionate about Bane when we were talking about this pre-show. We were coming to knocking our 50 down to this list of 20.
Who
You
is
were like
passionate?
you were all Bane all night long.
How many
Yeah, but
times
then
has Poison
then I
Ivy
made my
almost
list, and
killed
I was like,
Batman?
holy cow, it's tough to have him even in. He didn't even make my 7. It's tough to have only 7 people.
How many times has Poison Ivy killed
The beauty of
Batman,
the
or
top
almost
7.
killed him?
How do we not have Catwoman higher?
She's awful.
Okay.
She is exactly like, minus the superpowers, like Poison Ivy to me.
That's why we need Man-Bat on here.
You know?
He's a man. He's a bat. That's his power is
All
a,
right,
Poison
so-
Ivy,
a bat?
Catwoman, and Harley Quinn have had their own comic series together. So
All right, so fine. You guys got me, dude. We'll do
Together,
Bane
you
at
know.
5. We'll do Bane at 4. Poison Ivy at 5. Let's do it.
I don't want that.
Lock it in. That's what
I don't want it. I'm not locking it.
Lock it in.
what are you trying to lock?
We were trying to put Bane at 4 and Poison Ivy at 5.
I think how it is right now is a good lock. It's looking pretty
Fucking
good.
Ra's al Ghul at 3 really fucking gets my goat, dude. I can't do it. I'm not going to be able to do it
Well,
tonight.
you guys have the majority, so do what you gotta do, man. I said
But
that.
out of our
Exactly.
list, I can't put him below any of the other people.
You know what,
because-
Tristan? People... Oh,
If
you
those
can't put him
live
below
action-
Bane?
If those live action forms of Ra's al Ghul destroy it for you that much, then drop them a couple notches.
Are you going to write the most passionate Ra's al Ghul piece to go with this story?
I already have it written.
because
Tristan's, is it fan fiction or is it like based on the character?
It's fan fiction, full of fan fiction.
It's like smutty Ra's al Ghul fiction.
and
Yeah,
I
of
can't
course.
put Bane higher than that because he did break Batman's back, but he was so shitty in the last movie. It almost made me like hate the last Batman movie, Dark Knight Rises. I thought he was awful in that. So
Man, we are going to get a lot of... I mean, we talk about that we don't give a shit, like if people are going to get upset. But we don't have Harley Quinn or Mr. Freeze on this list, which I think is because they don't deserve it. But I'm okay with Mr. Freeze over Two-Face. Like,
Harley
I feel
Quinn
they're
is no bad.
interchangeable to me. And I enjoyed Mr. Freeze more in the video games, so I'd be okay with putting him over Two-Face. But Chad would have to write the top 7 for Mr. Freeze.
If we went to 10, Mr. Freeze is like 8 or 9 for me.
are you just trying to make me feel good?
I'm trying to make you write something so I don't have to. I'm okay with, you know what, let's do Mr. Freeze for the Two-Face. I mean, Two-Face is 6 already, right? We don't love him.
I like Two-Face in there.
Like
What?
you
You
like,
like him. You don't love him.
If we
Like,
drop, I would rather drop Riddler off entirely and move
Jim Carrey as
Two-Face.
Riddler was classic, dude. Little teenage Jason thought he was the shit, dude.
And if we're putting like who put Batman in
tights,
more
right?
trouble, I feel like Mr. Freeze has put Batman in more trouble than Two-Face has put him in trouble, and that's what a
Plus-
villain does, dude. A villain puts you in trouble.
Well, Mr. Freeze doesn't necessarily seek out Batman. He's seeking out things to help out his wife that's on ice.
I know, that's such a good story.
Yeah, but he's now like, oh, I'm going to take out Batman today. It's just Batman
It's
has
just
to
in
stop
the
him
games, he's
doing
like,
whatever
I'm
crime
Mr.
he's doing.
Freeze, and I'm very...
He's not someone that ever works together with other characters, with other villains, so you never see him like team up with the
Everything
Joker.
you're saying about me like him more. He's like a loner. He's like trying
Yeah,
to do
because
for his
he's not a true villain.
wife. He's got this hard story. I love him. I
And
love
then
him.
she leaves him once she does come back to life.
I know. And then does he go crazy?
And then he's like, oh, now what do I do?
And what happens next, Tristan?
Read some comics, find out, man.
That's it. He doesn't
I
go
bet he
after
goes
Batman.
crazy. I bet he tries to kill Batman.
Yeah, and you're just leaving it out,
Are you trying to
No
manipulate
spoilers,
the
man.
list by cheating and tricking us?
huh?
Because we don't know any better?
Huh?
I was born in the darkness.
That's good. That is really good. Okay, here it is. Top 7. The Joker. At number 1. Number 2, The Penguin. Number 3, Number 4, Poison Ivy. Number 5, Bane. Number 6, Mr. Freeze. And number 7, The Riddler.
Wait, Mr. Freeze got in there? Oh,
Yep. Suck on that, bitch. That's
Yeah.
why we put. That's why we do this video, Tristan, so they can see how upset you were.
So everyone knows that.
Yeah,
Your
because
list.
most people are gonna be like, "Oh man, you left off Two-Face." Now, this
Now they
is
know
forever.
why.
Gonna explain
I
it.
need a coin to flip now.
Yeah, you need
See which one of you I kill.
Coin in a drink.
Terrifying. Join us on Adapted, maybe, potentially this week.
Possibly.
So we're good with this. We're happy. We're done with this.
I don't
Well,
think we're happy.
I wouldn't
think
say
we're
we're
good.
happy. It's always
I
a
love
tough.
that we do these and we never end. Like we're just
It's
not
always
friends.
tough.
We're not going to talk until we record the podcast this week, right?
A little break now. A little break.
Oh my god. All right, guys. Well, that is the top 7 Batman villains. Thanks for checking it out. It's on the site. Every week, every Wednesday, we post a top 7 list. We have videos. And then we'll follow up this comic book talk on Adapted this week on Friday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jason Honacki. Brett Metal.
I'm sweating from this one, dude. Thank you guys.
This was
It's an
terrible.
exciting one.
It's just terrible. We're terrible people.